be able to give any type of opinion
But that's kind
prior
of
to the community.
my point. So that's kind of my point. It's up to us three to conduct the business. So right now, anybody during that public comment period or during that agenda item could come up and talk for 2 minutes. So there is, in my eyes, no difference. If they see the agenda and they want to talk about the grant writer discussion, they have the opportunity to do it during public comment. You want to start?
Not yet. Give us a couple minutes to,
So,
what are your thoughts? Anything else?
I've been on the board when there's been no public comment. I've been on the board when there's been unlimited public comment. I think actually where we sit right now is a fairly decent compromise between those two. I don't think it's the comments that have necessarily been making our days be long. I think we actually probably have more crosstalk amongst the board and discussion amongst the board that drives the length of our meetings for better or worse than the public comment. I don't think the public comment portion of the program is what's broken right now that causes our meetings to be longer than they potentially need to be.
Well, then that's something that
I mean, we could
you
start
two
tracking
need to,
it.
to figure out then.
Right. No,
that has nothing to do with me. So I'm
Right.
going to make it very clear. I don't want to be in the middle anymore. So if that's for you two to figure out of how the three of us can conduct business going forward.
Right, but I don't think that necessarily changing our current public comment policy is going to make the meetings go quicker or improve the quality of the decisions, because there are times when we have people in the audience that whether we agree with their opinion or not, and I think probably given the way the town runs, it's probably 50-50 for all of us, whether we have any particular alignment with what's being said or not. I think it's potentially positive to be making decisions based on as much information as available. I mean, with no disrespect to Mr. Holcraft, I very rarely agree with him, but I actually listen to what he says by virtue of the fact that sometimes there's a grain of something worthwhile in there, right? So, I think there's value in the way that we currently have it constructed, but like you said, we don't have to decide anything tonight.
I just wanted to bring up.
So my opinion is, I think it's important to hear the public before we make a decision. So I'm in favor of allowing someone to speak before we get going on the agenda. And as long as they want to speak on an agenda item, by speaking ahead of time, we can take their consideration into play when we go through it. But after the fact, I don't really see that as being really productive based on the decisions are made at that point. So I personally, I just think that we could stay the way we are, or we do it before the meeting, and then not before the meeting, but before we hit the agenda items.
Well, I would like to actually respectfully disagree with that statement, because that's a presumption that every decision first passed through is going to stay immutable in stone forever, versus you might get information after a fact that might nudge us to put it on a future agenda to reconsider the vote.
Okay.
So,
I just thought in the beginning it's certainly more important to hear what the public has to say, but you bring up a good point.
So, I mean, if we were going to change it, I would say it needs to be both first and last to enable people to do that and to communicate in the public forum, in the public eye, what their opinion is, but I don't support changing it at this time.
Well, Sarah, you brought it up. Are you done with it? And I'll open it
Yeah,
up
I
to the
just
floor.
brought it up just to see how everyone felt, and we can think about it and address it later.
So I'm going to open it up. Go ahead, Don.
Don Taft, 20 Lane 21. I know in the past you've been in favor of public comment, and I think that's warranted. Like Beth said, we've gone from no comment to allowing comment, and I think a time period is appropriate. I also think that it's important that the public input be made during your discussion about each agenda item, just so that if you got the public comment prior to, like, item 9, then by the time you get to 9, you could have further discussion without more public input. And I think it would be important to have the public input while you're making your decision on each particular item. That's my concern. Voice from the citizens before or after, yeah, I think that's important, but I think it's more important that it be per item, so that they have the opportunity for an open discussion, so that you hear what the citizens have, we get to hear your playback. I just think it's important that you hear what the people have to say while you're in the process of making any decisions. That's my only comment.
Fair enough, thank you. Come on up, Bruce.
So how would you vote on an item with the public's input if we can only do it before the agenda item and after all the agenda is complete?
Well, that's why I think you would be able to speak for whatever time that we decide
During.
at the beginning of the meeting.
Yeah, but then we don't have the full information on whatever topic pops up and you get the inners of the topic.
Well, I can
And-
remember sitting in the audience when I couldn't speak at all, so.
Do you want those days back?
No, I
No,
don't. No,
no.
and I've been an advocate for public comment.
So I'm just saying, we can comment before, we can comment after, but what happens, you're gonna vote in the meanwhile. You're not gonna wait
Yeah,
till
but-
the end of the night to vote.
Can I interrupt? But you're not, I hate to say it, but you're not voting. You
No,
voted
we're
for
not.
us to make the decision, the three of us. And that is my point. Yes, you can have an input and you're more than happy to make the decision and have an input and say what you want to say. But at the end of the day, you voted for one of us to sit up here and make the decision for you, for the voters.
Well, that's kind of a loose term, but what I'm getting at is every item on the agenda you'd be voting on, and we wouldn't have a chance to add a comment to it until the end, and you've already voted on it. In the beginning, we
Yes.
don't really know the inners of the subject.
No, you know the agenda item, correct, yes.
Yeah, it doesn't say much. That's what agendas do. They don't say much.
Listen,
If you don't want public
it
comment,
was an
then just say you
idea,
don't want it.
multiple towns have it, we're not the first one. It's not like I came up with the idea on my own, multiple other towns.
And we
have
didn't
it.
have it years ago.
No one is saying we don't want it.
No, we didn't
No
have
one
it
is
years
saying
ago,
that.
Sarah.
I understand.
And we are a very small town. I hope you did your research on towns that are as small as Brookfield.
Yes, Brimfield does the same thing. Brimfield is just the same size as us. They allow public
Within
comment.
a couple hundred.
Yep, so it's not.
Well, you've got my opinion. I think it's
Very well said.
improper to shut out the town citizens.
Thank you. Anyone else? Come on up, Steve.
Steve Carmen. I'm in favor of the current format. It keeps the agenda items cohesive, so the public and the select board can bring the information together all at once. And I do volunteer on several boards and committees, and I do try to give input within that context. If there's a conservation, communications, or planning board item that is pertinent to the topic, I'm happy to offer insight on that. So I'll raise my hand just so I can perhaps offer that information at that moment. Bringing that prior or after the meeting, I think, is disjoint, and having that prior to the meeting, I think, would be a little bit too kind of jumping ahead of the agenda. Then you have to kind of unravel what was previously said to aggregate public comment plus your own insight into the agenda items. So I like the current format. And Rich, to your credit, you have reintroduced public comment, and the way that you've done it with the time limit, I think, is excellent. And I think the public is very happy. And we have a lot of turnout in some of these meetings occasionally. And I think part of it is because citizens want to contribute.
Sounds like I did one thing right.
You did this thing excellently.
All right. Thanks, Steve. Well, what's the pleasure of the board? Do you guys want to make a motion, or do you want to?
I already said it, so we're gonna move on.
I already actually have my hand up. Have my hand up from the beginning.
Oh, I'm sorry. Jake, do we have someone else?
I don't see the hand raised, but we can.
Chris?
It is, the screen is I must have been taken down.
Chris, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Go ahead.
Would you like to speak?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm
Okay.
going to start off by saying that I'm at a complete disadvantage. This is the first 9 minutes of meetings or so was completely muted. I couldn't hear anything. and I raised that to the IT person, and the meeting just continued without me. So I didn't get to hear the beginning of what you guys were debating. I think I get the gist of it. So I'm going to have to do my public comment about what I understand about what happened, because I was excluded from the beginning of the meeting, which I'm really pissed off about. But anyways, I think that you need to look at the open meeting law. The open meeting law clearly states that public participation should be at its maximum ability. That the board should allow as much public participation as possible in open public meetings. And I think the point that was being missed is that what Dennis was saying is that it's going to be hard to give public comment at the beginning of the meeting, because the debate has not evolved. You know, you can have something on the agenda that could be vague, and it could evolve into something else. And I think the select board should keep it as it is. Get the public input before you take your vote, because I've seen it happen in your meetings where you took the public's comments and, you know what, maybe we should put this off, because you've actually listened to the fix. And Rich, you are right. You did something right. You actually did. Because it was frustrating sitting in these meetings and you have something very valuable to contribute and you couldn't bring it to it because there was no public comments. So I commend you on that, Rich. And I don't think we should take a step backwards. I think the board should take the public comments and really take what they say into account to the vote. I don't see how you can do that if you make them talk at the very beginning of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Jeff? Come on up.
Jeff Clark, 101 Brunel Avenue. I'm trying to gather my thoughts, but again, you know, I've worked with you for a couple of years, Sarah, so obviously there's something that has got stuck in wherever.
Yes.
And I totally respect and appreciate that the three of you, we elected you, and you're here to make the decisions. But I think the system, the way it is now with the 2-minute comment time is appropriate, because the people who come here are, I believe, intelligent, they have reasoned opinions, and they want to get the information. So the back and forth between the select board before they make a decision is extremely important. And so I would stay with that system, and I would only suggest that whatever is going on, just dig deep and try to figure out how you guys can work together as best as possible for the town's well-being. That's all.
Thank you. Well, I'd like to put a little more thought into this, and I'd like to do a little more research in other communities. So is the board amenable to tabling it until our next meeting?
Yeah.
You are? Sarah?
Sure.
Okay. Fair enough.
There was one
Yep,
announcement.
Yep, I'm getting to it.
Okay.
Yeah, I should have hit it first, but I'll do it now. So, our highway department has done such a great job. They're done with their portion of Gay Road, and now, before the weather changed, he's going to resurface and pave Route 148 from Quabog Equipment to Mitchell Hill Road. The work is going to begin tomorrow. The road is going to be pretty well closed down. There's going to be a detour going from up Long Hill Road to Town Farm Road to Weber Road to either Schoolhouse Cross and back to Route 148. In order to do this quickly, they're going to work 2 12-hour days. One day will be milling, the second day will be paving. So our highway department, our police department are going to be out there assisting with the road closures as well as the detours. So please, anyone listening, be patient. We're going to have a great Route 148 from that section. The rest of the road is in really good shape, and now we were spending a ton of money on asphalt to go up and do patches, and not only that, it wasn't a real safe area to do patches, so we were putting our health in jeopardy. So we're going to have a really nice travel road for the rest of Route 148. So, but we are going to be inconvenienced terribly on those 2 days. So everyone just please be patient, and thank you. So I did speak with the police chief, the fire chief about it. Kyle had spoken to them as well. Everyone seems to have it kind of figured out, and hopefully it goes well. Our next agenda item is the GPS policy update. I did not have a chance to read it ahead of time, so I'm going to take a minute and go over it now.
Well, I reached out to Karen this morning, and Ron said that he hadn't even started a draft or or reached out to MSP yet for their policies. So the ones behind you are ones that I found before Ron came up with this one today. Just so we have something to compare. I knew that we had questions about finding some policies, so I found some, not in Massachusetts, but different states. So I just printed them out, that way we could kind of look at them, see what
Okay.
we like from each one.
So rather than keep everyone waiting, I'd like to
Yeah.
table this as well, and then we
Yeah.
put this on the
That way
agenda
we can-
again for next
Yeah.
week,
That way we
Karen?
can review them.
Yeah.
I think that's a great
Yeah.
idea.
And obviously
Thank-
some of it's repetitive, the information, so.
Mr. Chairman, may I?
Yes.
So this subject came up at a prior Select Board meeting, and you tabled it, I believe. And it was recommended that the policy be submitted to each department head of each department that's involved in the GPS. I wonder if that is still a consideration.
I think once I guess I don't see any reason why we couldn't send the draft out to each department head ahead of time. And then you could have a chance to, when we bring it up again, to talk about it then.
Great.
Is that the consensus of the board?
So I think we have a couple options.
Okay,
One would be that,
all right.
right? And I think that would be a good one, once, provided we have a draft, when we put it on the agenda, that we send it out to department heads so they could just come to the meeting and discuss it. Or if we have a draft, and when's the next department head meeting?
I'm not sure when the next department head is.
It's usually the third or the fourth Thursday of the month. And I know that Laurie's away, so her schedule's a little bit different next week. We like to have when she's in. So I'll have to check and see. She'll be in. She's going to be here the 16th, but she's going to be super busy, so we can make it for the 23rd.
So if we can
Or the
have a
30th.
draft by the 23rd, then what we could do is potentially review it at the department head meeting in advance of the select board meeting. And if there's still issues or questions about it, I mean, folks can always come to the select board meeting, but that would give the department heads an opportunity to like hash out their input
Okay,
into it.
all right.
Great. Thank
So,
you.
yeah, just give us some time and we will get it to you. Thank you. All right. Number 3, town administrator job posting. The one thing I didn't have well, I guess, what's the pleasure of the board to get this out ASAP, or what would you like to? I think it's important that we get it out.
I think it needs to get out.
Yeah.
Okay.
As fast as
Yep.
possible. And the job posting versus the job description are two
Different things.
independent things. Do we
Right.
have a copy of the job posting from the last time we had it out there, Karen?
I don't have a copy with you, no, but what we typically do for the job posting is we just say general couple of sentences and then refer them to the job description. So
Okay.
there's nothing fancy about the ad. It just basically says we're looking for how many hours and what the pay is, and then we refer them to that with a link.
So,
Okay.
are we gonna set rate in the job posting?
So
Or are we just gonna say up to,
Yeah, I think we could
typically,
use the current.
you use what's budgeted
yeah.
and says
Yeah.
up to depending on
the
experience.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got the number.
Yeah,
All right.
yep.
Okay. So Karen, are you able to post?
Yes, I will post it, yeah.
Perfect.
So I'll make a motion that we get that posted as soon as possible using the pay rate as published in the annual town meeting warrant.
I'll second that. But do you need,
Go ahead and vote.
so I'll get you in discussion, so it's been seconded. Any other discussion? I'm gonna allow Don Taft to come up, so come on up.
My question is, has there been a public notice to the residents of the town, the fact that the town administrator is leaving, or what information, you know, shouldn't the citizens know that he is leaving? I have not seen a public posting of the fact that our town administrator is leaving. I think that the citizens of the town should know that. Just my comment.
Okay. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. Executive assistant pay rate.
Can we do 4 and 5 together,
Sure.
since I asked?
Yep.
I just wanted to bring up the fact that in the meantime, what we were gonna do for responsibilities, so I kind of thought maybe of hiring a temporary municipal clerk to kind of give Karen the space and she can focus on continuing her job and have this person do the minutes. Not even sure if we would get somebody, but I just don't want to be in the position where we don't have Ron anymore. We are just relying on Karen and Lois and putting them back in that position. So I just wanted to kind of bring it up and put it out there.
I guess my question would be, why would we do that rather than seeing if we could just extend the hours of the all boards clerk to do the minutes for the select board meeting as well? I mean, we have somebody in that role, they can watch the video, or Jacob, I don't know, do you do transcripts on the Zoom? And so then we can, if we do transcripts on the Zoom, are we also running it through a chat bot to get summaries?
We can get some.
Okay. So we could conceivably use a little bit of technology and leverage the all boards clerk to do the minutes, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay, because we could either use the full transcript or a, well, okay, well, so like what,
Yeah, so
so what are the things that we would want the temporary municipal clerk to do then?
Well, I think
well,
it's
that would be kind of, sorry, not to interrupt.
Go ahead.
I feel like that would be kind of up to Karen to decide what we're doing. I mean, we're going into alcohol renewal licensing renewals, we're going into common vic renewals. I just feel like Karen has a lot on her plate, and who's gonna be the procurement officer? If that's something that Karen's gonna have to redo, then it should reflect that, so. And I'm not sure I'm on board with the all boards clerk doing it without, one, having a conversation with her, and two, seeing how many hours she has and kind of figuring all of that out.
So my thought was that I thought we would possibly use someone up to or close to 20 hours a week. And I don't know what the all boards clerk total hours are for the town. If she could fit that in, then it would be more of a consideration on my part. But if we need someone for the close to 20 hours to help Karen keep this place afloat while we're without a town administrator, our town administrator worked quite a few hours a week. To replace that with someone at 20 hours a week is going to be difficult at best.
Yeah, Ron is working remote, so I hate to say this, and I guess I'll be very honest, I would not do the job that Karen is doing for the amount that she is making, and taking on all of that, now she's taking on all of the phone calls, she's taking all the walk-ins, she's taking in all of that work. There's absolutely no way I would ever do that job for the amount of money she makes.
And there are some comparisons that I gave you. Now, this is for the job that I do now. This is not with anything extra, to take on anything extra from the town administrator, even just with that. And one of the documents is from the Collins Center, which is from Brimfield, which is has just about the same population as we do, and that was done last year. So, I mean, I feel that I've been underpaid for many years, actually. When there was remember when there was the Collins Center, they had that whole Collins Center review?
Right, but your pay was the one that came back as being within market
I'm
during
going to
that
tell you
Collins
why.
Center.
Because what happened is, okay, this is how it went. When we had the Collins review, the personnel board accepted and the town accepted every single solitary recommendation from the Collins Center. When they said that someone needs to go up or down, whatever, it was always up. They always accepted it as it was the Bible, those figures, except for me. And I think maybe Dennis Clark didn't get a raise either. I got 3 cents. Everybody did get large raises. And I remember what happened is it went to the personnel board. And when I spoke to the woman at the Collins Center, the head of it, she said, the work that you're doing, the work that I was doing back then, she said, is much more than an assistant. You should be an executive assistant. And that's when she changed the title and the board of selectmen voted on it. But when it went, do you remember this, Mary Lou? When it went to the personnel board, there were 5 people on the personnel board, and I know that Holly and Linda voted for me to go to the next grade and take that recommendation from the Collins Center person, like they had done for, I believe, every other one. And there were 3 people that voted against it. I think it was you and Cindy and Mr. Ford. And that's the only reason why I never got a raise. And I'll tell you, I would say just about everybody else got a raise. You know that, Beth. But it was because of that vote. And I felt that it was unfair because, like I said, for every other person, they took the recommendation of the Collins Center, except for me. And maybe Dennis, I'm not sure what his situation was.
I didn't have that detail. I recall that in the actual final Collins Center report, that they didn't have an adjustment for your role.
Yes, because...
But you're saying that was a byproduct of consultation with the personnel board.
It was definitely.
Well, that doesn't make any sense because the Collins Center was supposed to do an independent report.
Okay, because, well, they did. And when they did the independent report, they said, she told me that my title should be switched to executive assistant. And that is why the board voted on it. And that was okay. But when it came time to get a pay raise, in order to be up to that grade, whatever it was, and I don't really know this much about it, you probably know more, Mary Lou, but in order to get up to that grade, our personnel board had to vote on it. And I didn't get the vote. And that's why, even though I had the title, I never had the pay rate to go with it. And this has been going on was it 2018 maybe? It's been quite a while.
Sounds right. Maybe 19, somewhere in there.
Yeah, 18 or 19. So honestly, I mean, and if you look at that and also some of the other comparisons that I have, really, I am grossly underpaid.
So what's your current rate?
It's $25.60, I believe.
And do we have a copy of the job description of what the difference is supposed to be between an administrative assistant and an executive assistant?
I don't have it offhand, no, but I can print it out. Let me see, I'll have to go back.
I think we're looking at possibly having a meeting next week based on our open meeting law complaint that we received. So I would propose that we each get this paperwork, we table it for tonight, do the research on it, put our best
Come back together.
foot forward,
Yeah.
and
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm just asking the
Yeah,
questions because I
yeah.
want to make sure that.
Yeah, and
what
I
we're-
just brought it up because, like I said, I just don't want to be in the position and put too much on Karen and then be in a position with no TA, and I'm just trying to think about the future.
so let's
And right
gather
now.
let's gather the
Let's
information,
gather the
and make
information.
our best informed decision next week.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Very good. Karen, you okay with that?
Yeah,
Thank
I'll
you.
get that info for you guys.
So then did you also want to table the municipal clerk discussion?
So-
Or do you want to post
do
it?
you
because
wanna
we
post
always have the
I-
option not to hire.
I feel like we
don't
should
even know if we're
post
gonna
it.
get anybody.
Right.
I feel like we should post it, and in the meantime, take a look at our all boards clerk, see, have someone, one of the three of us have a conversation with her, see what she's willing to do for hours and how much more she can do, and then we gather that information and make a decision at a later date.
Right.
Sounds good.
All right?
So, and, I mean, at least for the interim, Ron should be able to handle all the procurement officer function,
Yes, function, yes.
right? Karen, is your
Okay.
certification still
No.
in place?
It was 2015.
Okay,
When
so
I-
you'd have
when
to
I
go
did
back
it.
through it. Okay.
Yeah, I just don't.
All right?
Oh,
So,
I do.
moving on.
Can we just put on the agenda for next week? I want to talk about the hours for the highway administrative assistant. Because the crap that went down at town meeting was inappropriate. And I think now we're really truly finding out why for years Herb Chafee advocated for more hours for that role. And now that we're bringing somebody new on board, I think there's a glaring inequity there in the amount of hours that's provided to support the highway barn, especially where they used to do their own procurement. So that burden is now up here,
Yeah.
right? And that does take a certain amount of time, and that's the only reason why I'm bringing it in it is out of context, but I'm bringing it up for the purposes of putting it on the agenda next week.
Grant
Yep.
writer discussion too, so yeah, we can talk about 6 too.
Okay, so, yeah, let's just, we need to actually get the right infrastructure in place to run the damn town,
Yes,
All
so.
right?
yes.
Now, what exactly that looks like, we may not be
I
aligned
don't
on
know.
yet,
Trying to figure it out.
but we are trying to sort
So-
that out.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that next week. Karen, you'll get that on the...
Yep.
All right, so number 6, the grant writer discussions.
Oh, can I just make a motion that we go ahead and post the municipal clerk position?
Second.
Fair enough. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
What
Sarah,
about for pay for her?
you take the lead on the grant writer discussion.
Put,
I would just post up, say up to whatever Lois is
Whatever Lois is making?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, grant writer discussion, I just wanted to see where kind of we were at. I had Karen reach out to Ron and ask him where we were, if we were still posting or not. Karen said, no, we weren't.
why not?
I think the posting got taken down, correct, Karen?
What? Say that
For grant
again?
writer? Is it up or down?
It's, I don't know, I'll have to check. I'm not
Communication
sure.
committee, is it up or
I'm
down?
not sure. I believe it's up because I recently just got another grant writer. I think what we did is we took it off Indeed, and I think it may have stayed on the website. I can
Steve, you're
double
going to look?
Take a look.
Thank
Steve will
you.
look.
I don't think it's a news announcement, but it might be on the volunteers and
Yeah.
employment opportunities page.
So it's buried.
On their news posting, you can.
Yeah,
I think
so-
we're on the official town Facebook as well.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
kind of see if we can get some bites again.
Yeah.
Only because we got, or potentially we got, which is also on the agenda, the Rice Corner Crossroad Culvert Grant Project. We're being awarded a grant for $650,000. So leading into that, my question would kind of be who's gonna take on that project and what we're gonna do.
So I thought it was a great price with the grant writer that we received to help out with Gay Road, and I would like to propose that we offer the same person to see what they would charge us to do the Rice Corner Crossroad culvert.
So one of the challenges is with it, I think we're gonna just have to look into whether we have to send it out to quote or not as an outsourced service. We
Yeah.
may have to send it back out again like we did the first
Okay.
time. But taking that approach until we have a permanent grant writer
Yeah.
would not be a bad idea.
Yeah.
I just
So,
don't wanna be like the position where, like Gay Road and trying
Where
to
they were
play
behind, playing
trying to play
catch up.
catch up and have
No.
half invoices.
I had that same conversation with Kyle.
Yeah, and you know, $650,000 is a lot of money, so I don't.
So all we would need to do is basically send out a request for proposal. We can send it to roughly to CMRPC in the Pioneer Valley.
Yeah.
I think we're slightly premature on it, but until we actually are awarded the grant, but when
That's
that
true, 'cause
happens,
we-
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because we
Yeah.
haven't been awarded it yet. So once that happens, I think the RFP should go out immediately.
Yeah,
And then.
unless we have somebody we're already
Yeah.
interviewing for.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then, I guess going forward as a grant writer,
Okay.
are we gonna, we're gonna post, so we're gonna try and hire somebody, or I kind of had the idea of maybe us coming up with a list of grants that we would like to see, not saying that we can't anyway, but then seeking a consulting company to say, hey, these are the grants that we want, can you kind of award them or get them?
So there's,
Kind of go that route rather than having somebody in the office every week. So just an idea to bring it up. We didn't get any real bites the first time, so
Right.
just another alternative thought.
so there's a couple of options.
Yeah.
I think that's a valid approach. I think the other approach that we may want to consider would be contacting somebody like Roughly, like there's
Yeah.
other professionals.
Yeah.
You can give them a laundry list of what to go after, or we can come up with what we would like to do as a town, or what categories of grant that we're interested
sit
in.
Yeah.
Right.
For an example, like a splash pad at the park or at Lewis Field. Not saying that we want that at all, but for an example, and then we can say, okay, this is on our list. Can you find us park grants
Right.
to potentially get us a grant?
So,
Okay.
Just a different way to post. See if we can get bites that way.
All right. Moving on to number 9. I had a conversation, so it's repair of the shed roof at the transfer station. I had a conversation with our building inspector. He said it's under the required amount to require a building permit. So we've had some volunteers at the transfer station that was willing to do the repairs. It's approximately $500. I'm in favor of allowing the volunteers to do the roof. Any other thoughts from the board?
I'll make a motion to allow the volunteers to do the roof repair.
I'll second that. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Quick question, do we want to go back to do the full update on the Gay Road status, just since it's on the agenda? I know we talked about it in terms of having a grant writer, but I think there's information in the
Yeah,
supplemental
if you-
portion of the packet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So.
Yeah, we'll backtrack to item number 7.
Yeah, so, and fundamentally, I don't know if you had wanted to take lead on this, but the update that we've got includes that Roughly Consulting has got the quarterly report due next week. It should be on time, and that'll include the first quarter information as well as the fourth quarter information that was behind. So we'll be caught up. And then Katie and Rebecca Roughly are working together to sort out all the grant appropriate invoices. Rebecca believes they have a handle on the invoices and will be submitting them to the state for processing. They're also communicating with the contractor to ensure that they provide certified payroll on a timely basis. And the town's MassWorks representative is being kept in the loop on both the invoices and the reporting. So they're making sure everybody's like dotting their i's
So
and
that
crossing
was
their
one
t's.
thing that I was wondering about the invoices as they come through. When I talked to Kyle about it, he said that he hadn't had much from the contractor yet, but he said he will work on getting that. But
Yeah.
based on what I see down there, our bigger problem is going to be police and traffic enforcement. I drove the road the other day. I mean, it's so wide that it's going to be beautiful compared to what it was.
Yeah.
But I think
Especially where it is an artery for the commuters in town.
Yeah,
It is a
through
street.
And I talked to the police chief about that today, and he said, "Oh yeah, we're going to be down there an awful lot in the future."
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
So,
okay. But
and then,
the work that's being done is beautiful compared to what it was. So.
Yep.
Anything else on Gay Road?
No, just really glad that that's moving
Yeah.
along at the rate that it
What an
is.
asset to Brookfield.
Yep.
You may.
Dave Holcraft, 26 Allen Road. Talk about Gay Road here, I got a couple questions here. Talk about all this beautiful work that was done down there by the highway for the last 6 months, which I agree. I went down there the other day, and all the riprap is completely gone off the side of the road, and there's big ditches all the way along the road now. What happened? With the highway spent, I don't know, tens of thousands of dollars all went along, and now it's all gone? Is the piping still there? Is the drain still there? Does anybody know anything about this?
Bruce, do you care to? No, I know you work this, so I just didn't know if you had any insight.
Yeah, we had Bruce even, Mr. Clark was even down and getting paid whatever he was getting paid to help out with the highway to get this done. Nothing else got done but Gay Road. Now we went down there, it's a friggin' mess. So I want to know where all this...
Have you had a chance to talk to the highway superintendent?
No, I have not.
Would you mind speaking to him and then?
Yeah, I'll talk to him, but I'm bringing it to the board, to the town. What, where's all the riprap? Where'd it all go? And is the drain still in place underneath it?
I don't know, I can't answer that.
Beth, do you know?
Can't answer that.
You're the one that's been saying they're doing a great job down there, and they were doing a great job, but now it's all gone. I mean, and who's going to pay for that? Who's going to pay to put new drains in if the drains are not there?
Well,
I don't know. I don't know.
We're getting the car, right?
No, the horse is still ahead of the cart. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm going to find out. I'm going to talk to Kyle tomorrow.
I would really think that's the appropriate.
Okay, I hope that didn't happen. So, okay.
All right. Number 10, I'd entertain a motion to approve a one-day pouring license on 413 Main Street.
No, that's the name of the...
Oh.
Yeah, it's going to be at Overlook, but
Oh,
that's
it's at-
413 Main is the name of the
Oh,
caterer.
okay, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, yeah. So that's on Long Hill Road.
Yep, so I'll make a motion to approve the one-day pour license for 413 on Main for the, at the Overlook Farm location.
On Long Hill. I'll second that. Any Well, that's where the people are from.
That's their business address. That's
Yeah.
the way that they have to apply for the license.
So the business is coming to Brookfield to have a one-day event.
Oh, okay.
So any other discussion?
What? Go. What? Second. What do you need
All
from
right.
me?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Number 11, sign fiscal 26 South Pond Beach Agreement.
Okay, a motion to sign the 2026 South Pond Beach Agreement.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I'll entertain a motion to approve the, Jeff, do you mind coming up?
It's exactly the same as last year. He said, I talked to Todd, he just changed the date, so there's nothing changed.
Yeah, Jeff Clark, 101 Brunel Avenue. If you could you put a copy in the box, just so we know what we're agreeing to? Thank you.
All right. So, I kind of lost my train of thought. Did we
Yep.
get to that vote? Is all in favor?
I think, well, aye.
Aye, okay.
Aye.
All right, so I will entertain a motion to approve the select board minutes for 8/5/25, 8/19/25, 8/21/25, and 9/16/25.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
What about the shed on the transfer?
We voted it?
We're paying attention.
No, I was sleeping.
warrants you